Here are my thoughts on the EOS Holiday 2025 collection. This collection includes the new EOS body lotions and the EOS body mist. EOS Caramel Cashmere is a warm, milky caramel with a hint of cookies. This fragrance opens with a dense and musky caramel that's very creamy and lactonic, but it avoids what I call the stink factor in gourmands. The stink factor is when a gourmand is too dense, too milky, and too musky, so the overload of notes makes it turn disgusting to my nose. It's not that. It's musky in the sense that it smells heavy and thick, but it doesn't have that animalistic funk musk, which can be very hit or miss for me. Speaking of hit or miss, this is not Blind Buy safe. The EOS Caramel Cashmere Body Mist is mostly caramel, but the sweetness dries down into a soft, buttered popcorn. Caramel Cashmere has pretty good longevity. Combined with the body lotion, it lasted on my skin for about 4 hours. I rate this a 7 out of 10. The EOS Caramel Cashmere Lotion is more creamy and lactonic with less musk compared to the body mist. It also leans a bit less caramel to my nose. A few weeks ago, I bought the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71 body cream. To me, that cream smells spoiled and rotten. It went back to Ulta immediately. Caramel Cashmere from EOS is what I wanted the Cheirosa 71 body cream to smell like. This is pretty good for a body lotion as well, and a solid 7 out of 10. Let's compare EOS Caramel Cashmere to other gourmand body mist in my collection. Lush Let the Good Times Roll is sharper and leans more sugary with no milky or lactonic element. Phlur Caramel Skin is more milky with a more prominent sandalwood drydown. There is no buttery popcorn element. Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71 is more nutty with a sharper buttered popcorn. This is also not milky or lactonic at all. If Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71 and Phlur Caramel Skin had a baby, it would be EOS Caramel Cashmere. You don't need all three. Victoria's Secret Pink Coconut Cream is more whipped and airy with a slight kind of gourmand herb quality, completely different. EOS Cocoa Cashmere is a light cocoa with a hint of marshmallow and amber. The first spray takes a few seconds to settle into cocoa powder with orange blossom. This is not a floral fragrance at all. I think the orange blossom makes this smoother and keeps the cocoa from getting too dense or musky. This is also not a chocolate fragrance. There is no dense bitter cocoa and there isn't any milkiness. The EOS Cocoa Cashmere Body Mist is more of a light cocoa powder with orange that settles into a soft vanilla marshmallow. The marshmallow is not sticky or gooey or toasted, it's soft and sugary. The amber doesn't really add much except for maybe a slight resinous honey quality. I think this will be the most popular scent because it's fluffy and sweet but not super heavy. Blind Buy safe if you like gourmands. With the lotion, the fragrance mist lasted about 2 hours on me. I rate this an 8 out of 10. The EOS Cocoa Cashmere Lotion is about the same, perhaps sweeter with less chocolate and a little more marshmallow. Still an 8 out of 10. Bath & Body Works Chocolate Amber is not a sweet fragrance. The amber is more prominent and sour, but there is more chocolate rather than powdered cocoa. The lotion is more dark chocolate. Lush Yuzu and Cocoa is more citrus heavy with a bold dark chocolate, completely different. Phlur Heavy Cream leads with citrus and is more coconut cream. Sniff Hazel Split is a bold dark chocolate with a light banana in the background, also completely different. The Marshmallow and Victoria's Secret Bare Vanilla Brulee is more toasted and slightly smoky with no chocolate. Bare Vanilla Brulee is a lighter, less sweet scent overall. The Fenty Butter Drop Toasted Marshmallow Cream is much lighter and not as sweet as Cocoa Cashmere. It's a hint of marshmallow with a bit of that burnt quality in a good way. Completely different. The Tree Hut Sweet Cream Body Butter is more milky and lactonic and also leans more vanilla and coconut. Not really much of a marshmallow fragrance, in my opinion. EOS Peppermint Cashmere is a candied peppermint with white chocolate and light marshmallow. The peppermint opening is not too herbal or too strong. The coldness of the mint is toned down by the candy cane sugar, which comes with a very light, barely there marshmallow fluff. I could not detect the marshmallow fluff on its own. Like the white chocolate, the marshmallow fluff is mostly there to add more sweetness. The EOS Peppermint Cashmere Body Mist dries down to a soft sandalwood and musk that is not powdery. Combined with the lotion, it lasted on my skin for about 2.5 hours. It's my favorite in this collection and gets a 9 out of 10. This year's EOS Peppermint Cashmere lotion smells exactly the same as last year. Compared to the body mist, the lotion smells slightly less minty, and I can detect the smallest hint of vanilla bean. Still a 9 out of 10. I don't have anything like Peppermint Cashmere in my collection, so no comparisons here. The EOS Vanilla Cashmere Body Mist is a light vanilla and cream with musk and a touch of caramel. The vanilla starts off very creamy and airy on the skin, but when it dries down, it intensifies and leans very cocoa butter. It's a really lovely cocoa butter scent because there is a musk that gives it some bitterness. It doesn't get too bitter though, because at the dry down there is a small, soft and creamy caramel. Keep in mind that the Vanilla Cashmere Body Mist is very, very light. It only lasted on my skin for about 1.5 hours and doesn't project much. I suspect that it will macerate because it left some oil on my skin after I sprayed it. If you used to like the Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath and Body Works, but noticed that the new formula smells spoiled and stink, get Vanilla Cashmere instead. As someone who does not like very milky or heavy gourmands, I never get spoiled milk or yogurt from the EOS Vanilla Cashmere Body Lotion. But to me, the Vanilla Cashmere Body Mist is different from the lotion. It smells less milky and more cocoa butter. I like the body mist better, but I've always felt like the EOS Vanilla Cashmere line was very overrated, so both get a 6.5 out of 10. Let's talk about some perfume layering combos for the EOS Body Mist and new EOS Body Lotions from the 2025 holiday collection. I would layer EOS Caramel Cashmere with gourmands and caramel fragrances, perhaps some dense vanillas and cookies too. The beautiful Ellis Brooklyn Queens Caramel is just an obvious choice. Philosophy Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere is more creamy and more kind of comforting, but with that caramel, it's going to be really good. Vanilla Voyage from Maison Azra is a caramel with vanilla, has that density that will really pair nicely together. Shagaf Vanilla Toffee from Swiss Arabian is a very kind of polarizing scent, but I think if you want to just include more sweetness and maybe take away some of that sharpness, pair it with caramel cashmere. True Fragrances Praline and Pistachio is a beautiful cookie scent, so this is an obvious combo. Zara Caramel Temptation, another obvious combo, but the caramel here is a little bit more light compared to the caramel cashmere. Zara Whipped Coffee and Gourmand Coffee are both coffee fragrances that have that sweetness that will pair really, really well together. I would layer EOS Cocoa Cashmere with Gourmands, of course, but this is a very versatile fragrance. The Orange Blossom and Amber does a really good job of toning down the excess sweetness, so I would also layer it with fluffy marshmallows and citrus fragrances that have that sweetness. First one is obvious Brown Girl Jane Chalet. This is a beautiful chocolate fragrance with a little bit of some sparklingness that is just so good with this lotion and body mist. Forever Mood Hard to Get is a kind of traditional lemon cake gourmand, but it has just a beautiful perfumey quality that is going to be really boosted by Cocoa Cashmere. Bianco Latte, of course, this is a classic latte, chocolate, vanilla, gourmand powerhouse, obvious choice. Lush, Yuzu, and Cocoa, these are kind of, they're not exactly similar, but they have a similar vibe, so these together would just be really, really nice. Also, if you want to increase, like, the sweetness and kind of tone down that lush, like, herbal garden type of scent that they tend to have, do these together. That Girl Viral Vanilla is marshmallow and vanilla, obvious choice. Philosophy Fresh Cream Soft Velvet is 9 gourmand. In my opinion, this is a floral that masks as a gourmand. So if you want to add more sweetness to that and maybe amp up that slight chocolate note, do this. Seven Virtues Clementine Dream is a kind of a woody leaning citrus and cream. So if you want more cream, combo it this way. Valentino Donna Born in Roma Ivory is a beautiful orange blossom with marshmallow, so this is a very obvious choice. And of course, we have the Zara Cocoa collection, Zara Cocoa Bliss, which is kind of a chocolate with like orange in it, and Zara Cocoa and Latte, which is just a classic latte vanilla gourmand. I don't have any mint perfumes to pair with EOS Peppermint Cashmere, but what I do know is that this will layer so well with sandalwood fragrances, or even better, aromatic fragrances that have green notes such as sage and fig. The first choice is being Frenchy Palo Santo Sage. This is a very herbal sandalwood scent, so if you want to just add more of that sweetness and make it more of a perfume rather than a candle, EOS Peppermint Cashmere. Killian Princess is also a great combo because it's a marshmallow fluffy fragrance, but it has like green tea and it has like green notes that just layer so well together. Lush Guardian of the Forest is a very green, very foresty smelling fragrance. So this kind of continues that vibe. It adds a little bit of sweetness with the marshmallow. Mancera Fig Ecstasy is a very unisex fragrance. So if you want to make it more feminine, add Peppermint Cashmere. Nishani Wulong Cha is one of my favorite perfumes in my collection. This is a beautiful, aromatic, fresh fragrance. Add that beautiful peppermint and marshmallow chef's kiss. Noise Shady Day is another fig forward fragrance that's very aromatic. Add peppermint cashmere if you want to elevate it and add some sweetness to it. Philosophy Fresh Cream is a cream perfume that's very, very versatile. So if you want to just make it more complex, add that mint with peppermint cashmere. Phlur Father Figure again is one of my favorite perfumes. It's very unisex. It has just that dry fig that is kind of musky. It will be so beautiful with peppermint cashmere. Salted Stone Nerolian Basil is a very aromatic type of fragrance. So if you want to make it sweeter and make it just more approachable, definitely combine it. And then lastly, Zara times Jo Malone Amber and Fig is just a very light, ambery, green, but very faint fragrance. So if you want to add more sweetness and boost it up, combo with peppermint cashmere. Let's rank this EOS Holiday collection from my most to least favorite. First place is definitely going to be Peppermint Cashmere. Beautiful, aromatic, mint, love it. Second place is going to be Cocoa Cashmere because it has a really, really nice sweetness and marshmallow without being too dense or heavy. Third place is Caramel Cashmere because it's a nice fragrance. It's very milky, very gourmand, but you know I'm not the biggest gourmand girl. Last place is Vanilla Cashmere. This is a nice fragrance, but it's quite generic and you probably have something in your collection like it. Unfortunately for your wallets, I do think that this year's holiday collection from EOS is worth the hype. It's better than last year's holiday collection, which was also pretty good. EOS does a really good job of capturing trends and making it their own instead of another boring dupe. I have a lot of fragrances and lotions, so I'm always trying to think of the bigger picture. How can this fit in your collection? At $12.99 for 6 ounces for the body mist and $9.99 for 16 ounces of the body lotions, these are much better value than what you could get at Sephora in general. They're smaller and more expensive than Bath& Body Works and Victoria's Secret, but remember, quality over quantity. With the exception of Vanilla Cashmere, which smells basic to me, these are fairly interesting. I don't think you need all of them. Pick one or two and call it a day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Pearl Denise and this is Beauty Body Pearl.